Today we're talking about the 5 levels of the INFJ rage. The INFJ rage is something very unique. So every single person has some kind of anger going on within them. Sometimes we have healthy outlets, sometimes we have unhealthy outlets, but still the way we express our different levels of rage, are very particular. And today we're going to look into them a little bit more in detail. So we're going to talk about the 5 levels of the INFJ rage and how we INFJs, knowing those levels, can deal with them and understand how far we want or should take them. Before we get started, a quick reminder, the INFJ Epic Life Bootcamp has launched. Our first live call will be August 26th. So if you want to join this live round, make sure you do that by then because we have no late admission. So make sure until August 26th, you're in bootcamp so you can start with us. That's when we're going to have our first live call. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. So the first level of the INFJ rage is the suppressed rage. The INFJ is not somebody who wants conflict. It's not somebody who seeks out conflict. There are a lot of people who enjoy this, right? It's like something that makes them understand another person. It's something that makes them feel alive. The INFJ does not like it. So if we have some kind of emotional thing going on around us that evokes a rage, we're firstly going to suppress it. We're going to walk on eggshells. We're going to create some kind of harmony. We want to make compromises. We want to make it as smooth as possible. Because tapping into rage, it's not something that we like. We don't like it because we don't have that much control of it. We very often are even afraid of what will happen if we actually allow it to come out. So that's what we do at first. We really suppress it. We don't address it. And in the end, it can be something that allows you to bypass any further levels. And so I don't think that this is necessarily something that we shouldn't be doing. Very often it is something that helps us to avoid any kind of situation that could become a big blowout. Just because we suppressed it, we look at it rationally, we see, okay, that's what they're capable of. They couldn't understand me anyway. And then we move on and we can let go of it. The second level of the INFJ rage is avoidance. So if we see that's a person who will annoy us, we will try to leave that person alone. We will try to get out of their hair. We don't want to have that confrontation because we know that if we do, it's going to have some kind of negative effect on us or on the situation. And this is something that might work, in many circumstances. Like you can really do this little dance and then say, okay, that has worked and I can still let go of it. And it still have been the best approach to the situation because not everybody deserves, your reaction. What you'll see when we go down that list is that we have to recognize that we can take a little bit more proactive charge in that. It is good to voice earlier what is bothering us than to really suppress things, avoid things, and have to be confronted with a situation over and over again. But in situations where you can suppress it, in situations where you can avoid it, and it's not a recurring thing, it might be the best solution there is. Because if it's a person that you talk on the phone with, or it's somebody at the DMV, that you have one interaction with, there's no reason to, bring that rage out. Like, okay, that person needed to show off like that they're the boss in this situation. I can handle it. I can let them live that out and I can let go of it and I'm not going to be bothered by it 10 minutes later. It's a different situation if it's somebody that you're constantly in contact with. Then it's definitely something we should talk about. But let's move down that list because now it gets interesting. So the third level of the INFJ rage is passive aggressiveness. This is a level where you're going to get confronted with that person and you cannot, avoid them. You cannot suppress your anger. It still pops up. And that's when we start getting passive aggressive. This is a typical thing of the INFJ because we don't want to have that open conflict. We don't want to openly say, I don't like what you're doing. And so it will come out in any kind of passive aggressive way. And one way or another, the other person will recognize this. But it's not something that will get you out of that situation. It will most likely, have a back and forth continuously. And so you'll have to deal with this over and over again. And this is actually the level where we should intervene. So maybe you can suppress your anger, you can avoid it. When you really get to a place where you cannot do that anymore and that passive aggressive energy comes out, be upfront. Like, let that person know you're not somebody that they want to deal with, one way or another. The sooner you do it, the better. If a person says something snarky, pull up that mirror. Bring that energy back. Show them that you're not somebody that they want to mess with. Because the truth is, once we go to level 4 and then 5, you know what you're capable of. There's a reason why we're so afraid of outrage. There's a reason why we don't want to go there. Because it's really, really big and it's really, really powerful. And we do have the capacity to protect ourselves in this way. It's just not something that we want. But since we have the capacity and we already know that if it continues this way, at some point, this monster will come out, then isn't it better to, set boundaries early on, let people know you're not the person to be messed with, and so it never even gets to that place. Level 4, telling the truth. So you're not protecting the other person's feelings anymore. That's the moment where you cannot hold back anymore. We very often want to protect other people's feelings. We know how we could hurt them. We know what we could say that will make them really uncomfortable. And we know those things because we can read people really easily. We understand what they're trying to overcompensate. We understand what their perceived weaknesses are. And so we also know what to say that will make them feel bad. And that's the moment when rage really overpowers us. We say the things out loud we never wanted to say. So we tell the truth and we're not looking out of, are we protecting another person's feelings? This is already a level that we don't like too much, but from time to time it happens. And if we want to avoid really uncomfortable situations where we hurt other people, it's on us to really, do that much earlier and, just remove the level of intensity here. If you have somebody that sort of makes you uncomfortable, telling the truth in a smaller dose earlier on will keep them at bay much better than, having it go this far because you want to avoid it and then it comes out in a really uncomfortable way. It doesn't have to be something that makes you a bad person or a mean person. All you're doing is, and this is important to remember, you're just holding up a mirror. If a person is kind to you, you're not going to go out of your way and be mean to that person. That's just not in our nature. So if somebody is acting disrespectful towards you and you tell them off, you're not doing anything that they haven't started. Remember, you're just holding up a mirror. You're just letting them know this is how it feels when you talk to me this way. The only way they can feel it is if you mirror it back to them. It's like telling a little child, and I've, used this example many times, don't touch that stove, you're going to burn your finger. That kid might still try it out because it's one thing to hear it, it's another thing to experience it. The moment that kid burns their finger a little bit, they won't touch that stove again because now they feel how uncomfortable it is. And that's what the other person needs as well. And the interesting part is people don't just understand this rationally. It gets imprinted into their system. So anytime they get close to saying something like this towards you again, they won't, because subconsciously know that doing this will cause them pain. And so it will hold themselves back. It really becomes this natural reaction. And so even if they're a person who tend to bring out their negative energy towards people, they won't do it towards you because subconsciously they know that will have a negative impact on them. And the 5th level to the INFJ rage is the bomb has dropped. Everybody else, please save yourself. So if you're in a situation where you have tried absolutely everything to not let the other person see your rage because you're afraid that they will never forgive you, because you're afraid that they will never understand you, they will look at you differently, all of those fears that hold us back from experiencing and expressing this very natural part of us. Those are exactly the reasons why at some point we cannot hold it in anymore. The more you suppress it, the more it will just blow out. And then if that happens, nobody's safe. I've experienced this myself and it has been so painful, not just for the other person, but also for myself. This was a situation that I never ever wanted to experience again. And I've talked to many INFJs about this, and it's something that we all have in common. Like this kind of, rage, if it's once let out, it is like still a good thing because we needed that release, and we see that there's an end to this rage. Very often we think there's no end to it and it will alter me forever, when in the end it's just something that needed to get out. But it's so intense. It's so true. It's so like hurtful. It's like this new reality comes out and the other person is confronted by that, and it hits them exactly where it hurts, that it has a huge impact. And once you experience this, you understand, oh, I need to set those boundaries earlier. I need to express myself earlier. I need to put up my shield much earlier and show my cards, because this is not something I want to experience again. And it's not necessary. And so although we have those 5 levels of rage, it's not necessary to allow them to get to such an extent. And the more you suppress it, the more you avoid it, the more you continuously are confronted with them, the higher the chance that you will go higher and higher on this scale. The sooner you take control of that, the sooner you say, I am a person who's allowed to be angry from time to time. I'm a person who's allowed to have rage, like in small doses. And it's okay to go overboard from time to time. Once you allow yourself to be a full human being in that regard, and you allow yourself to experience those emotions, you'll see how you'll have like a new balance, and actually everything will be more peaceful and more quiet. And it's a completely new experience. So I encourage every single one of you, say what you want earlier on. Set boundaries. Tell people off if they're not treating you right. Remember, you're just setting up a mirror. You're not starting this. And a nice side effect, once you've allowed yourself to tap into that rage, is you see how much drive you actually have, how much energy you have that you have suppressed because you're afraid of it. And once you see this is actually energy and that you can use it for good as well, you get even that much more motivated and empowered to take those steps into creating your INFJ Epic Life. Remember, if you want my help with this, then join our INFJ Epic Life community, join our bootcamp. We start next week, so August 26th. You still have a couple of days left to join. I look forward to seeing you there. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch the video on the 5 reasons why the INFJ is so extremely dangerous.